diciembre tuve razones de diferencia en la salud.
The story we are looking at today is a very devastating one. So today we are looking at the unaliving, the unexpected deletion of this Ukrainian lady, Irina, that's relocated from her country. Of course, everyone knows what has been happening between Ukraine and Russia. So this lady and her family decided to relocate to the United States, of course, to seek refuge, only for this lady to relocate here, come here with her family members, started life all over again. And just last month, this young lady was on her way from work. She boarded a train, and while she was aboard that train, the unexpected happened, and that is what you've just seen in the clip right there. This is so heartbreaking. So we are going to be looking at various reactions to this. People have got something to say. And if you're new to this space, you're welcome. This is BB here. Welcome to Talk with BB. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let us get right into the video.
I am going to be talking about one of the more horrific true crime stories I've seen in a while, and this is the unaliving, the murder of Irina Zarutska, who was a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee. Above my head is Irina. She was just boarding a Charlotte train in North Carolina, and she was brutally unalived, just sitting on her phone by the man sitting behind her. This news article talks about some of what happened. So it says that she was on the Charlotte area transit system, and the surveillance footage has now been released. That's why a lot of people are talking about it. So this incident occurred on August 22nd. She boarded it after work. You can see her in her work uniform. She sits down in the seat in front of DeCarlos Brown, who was showing signs of being emotional and upset prior to her sitting down, but not when she went to go sit down. So he's just sitting there calmly. She sits down in front of him. Minutes pass where she's sitting in front of him just on her phone. And then out of nowhere, the surveillance footage shows him stand up. He unprovoked pulled I can't say it, and stabbed Zarutska to unalivement. After the attack, video shows Brown walking to the other end of the train, removing his hoodie. Several passengers rushed to help Zarutska. So this is the photo shortly before the man in the red hoodie stabs her. So she's sitting in her pizza uniform. You see her board. The whole surveillance video shows it. And then I'm going to show the moments before he stabs her. So trigger warning if you guys want to skip over the next about 5 seconds. All right, so here's the still from where he stands up unprovoked. She's still sitting there peacefully on her phone, and he stabs her. The suspect's name is named DeCarlos Brown. He's 34, and he was indicted for 1 count of first-degree murder on Thursday in Mecklenburg County. Brown was taken into custody after the stabbing, but was awaiting medical release before he was formally charged. He was arrested shortly after. If you guys watch the video surveillance, you see him walking up and down. You see the blood coming off of the knife. It is horrific. And he was taken to the hospital to receive treatment before he was taken to the jail. Brown has 14 previous court cases in North Carolina. He was sentenced to 6 years in North Carolina prison after convictions for robbery with a dangerous weapon, breaking and entering, and larceny in Mecklenburg County in 2015. The convictions were for 2 separate incidents in 2013 and 2014, according to jail records. In September 2020, Brown was released from prison. He was arrested again in September 2022 for assault on a female in Mecklenburg County, but no court records are available for the case. Brown was arrested again in January 2024 for misuse of the 911 system after he allegedly called 911 on CMP PD officers for not taking his medical issue seriously. He was arrested and was in court in July for this case to have a forensic evaluation appointed to examine his condition. Here are some of his mugshots. People are calling out the judge that has let him out over and over and over again. His own family has said that he should not have been out. His own family. Irina, there's no bringing her back. There's no bringing her back. She's gone. And there needs to be serious reform to what is going on. Why people can be released so many times and then come out and not be mentally stable and commit these heinous crimes. This has been one of the worst things that I've seen in a very long time.
GoFundMe just removed fundraisers for the man accused of fatally stabbing a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee on a train in North Carolina. Donors got their money back, but let's talk about how fast the fundraiser appeared in the first place. This guy, 14 prior arrests, violent crimes, a criminal history so long it's shocking, and still someone set up a GoFundMe. Think about it. When a black person commits a violent crime, the first response from some groups is, let's raise money for him. But if the victim were black, would anyone care enough to start a fundraiser? Probably not. This isn't just politics, it's reality. Stereotypes aren't just made up. They are patterns people see, experience, and react to. And yes, it's uncomfortable to admit, but ignoring it doesn't make it disappear.
Did you hear about the poor Ukrainian refugee woman who was brutally and savagely unalived on a train by a man who had 17 priors, violent crimes, and was allowed to walk free recently, even though he didn't fulfill an obligation to the court because, cashless bail and soft on crime policies? Oh, you didn't hear about that? That's probably because the liberal Democratic media is not reporting on it because it doesn't fit their narrative. But you better know that if it was a black woman on a train and a white man brutally and savagely unalived her, it would be on a 24-hour news cycle. We'd be hearing about it in our sleep. You better believe it. It's time to realize that the media in the United States of America is completely doing nothing more than pushing propaganda. It's like the CCP. Truthfully, you have to get your news from independent sources so that you can come up with your own conclusions, because this media is garbage. It's garbage, truthfully.
What am I missing here? GoFundMe had to remove multiple similar fundraisers. And yes, they were supporting this individual who unalived this Ukrainian refugee. Yes, the individual who had 14 previous convictions. So please explain to me, what am I missing here? Why those fundraisers are even created and who is donating here? You can blame the system all you want, and as you should. Because, in my opinion, he should have been locked up or put in a mental institution maybe 10 convictions ago, but he still unalived her, and he committed the crime. So I don't understand what are we defending here. And suggesting he is as much of a victim as she is here is just insane to me. But like I said before, please explain it to me. I'm Ukrainian, so maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm just missing something and not understanding much. But yeah, I'm eager to listen, so please explain it to me, because this makes zero sense to me. None.
Watching the clip of how this young lady was unalived is really traumatizing. I can only imagine what the people that were there are going through right now. Let's not even talk about our family members coming online and seeing this video. There's actually a longer version of this whole thing. I think that video is about 8 minutes long, but trust me, you do not even want to see the whole thing that happened. The whole process of this young guy unaliving this lady. He was looking worried, but at the same time, we've all got issues in this life. So imagine, because you've got issues in life, everyone has got issues, of course, then we all now decide that we want to start unaliving ourselves. Trust me, there's nobody that's going to be on this planet again. And come to think of it, I don't understand how people go ahead to open a GoFundMe for such a criminal, someone that has been in and out of prison for over 12 times, like 17 times, I think. And people still felt that was the right thing to do, to open a GoFundMe. That is so heartless of such people. So are you trying to tell me that the family members of this lady, they don't deserve to have this GoFundMe instead of opening one for such a heartless criminal? Man, it's really heartbreaking when you really think about it. Imagine leaving your entire country behind, everything you know, just to keep your family safe from a war. You finally get a chance to start over. You're working hard, you're adjusting to a new life, and then something like this happens. It's not just tragic, it's unfair on so many levels. A lot of times when we hear about refugees, people don't realize the amount of resilience it takes just to start over from zero. You're learning new languages, new culture, new system, and you still have to show up to work every day trying to support your family. That's not easy. This woman was doing exactly what so many of us do, just coming home from work, and yet her life was stolen in the most senseless way. And it makes me to think safety is something we often take for granted. Like when you get on a train, you don't expect it to be your last ride home. We always think danger is somewhere else, in some other country or in the news. But stories like this show it can hit right here, close to home. I can only imagine what a family is going through right now. They left Ukraine to escape violence, to protect their kids and their future. And now, in a place that was supposed to be safe, they are dealing with this kind of tragedy. It just makes you pause and realize how fragile life really is. So, when we talk about refugees, immigrants, or just people chasing safety and a better life, stories like this remind us that they are not just headlines. They are people with families, dreams, and struggles just like us. And losing her this way, it's a loss that ripples through an entire community. We need to sit with that and really think about what kind of world we are living in. At the end of the day, this isn't just another news story. It's about a woman who worked hard, loved her family, and deserved to live the life she came here to build. This incident reminds us of how fragile life can be and why compassion and awareness matter so much. And if this story really hits you the way it hits me, I want you to take a moment to share the story, keep our family in your thoughts, and maybe even reflect on the safety and peace we sometimes take for granted. And as always, if you've watched up to this point, then it means you are the real MVP. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this whole thing? For crying out loud, this guy is a serial criminal and never deserved to be on the streets. This guy was a big threat to any life he came across. And unfortunately, this young woman was just a victim for no reason. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, subscribe, like the video, share, and we are going to see you in the next one. Thank you so much and peace out.